lesson of the month, I think, for myself. It looks like that we're live, I think, maybe, Lou. Let me double check.
Very good. Yeah, it says so. Webinar.
The icons,
yeah.
Yes. But I just need to make sure.
Okay. Let's see, can I do that?
And yes.
Okay.
Howdy.
Hi.
Happy birthday, Lou.
Thank you. I'm 61 years young today.
Are you? How do you feel?
Yes, dear. Fabulous.
That's wonderful.
It is.
Any plans for you today?
I'm just going to enjoy life, count my blessings, and look for opportunities to be of loving service and follow my inspiration.
Yeah. There's some really cool stuff that you've been posting of late that I've noticed on Facebook.
Thank you.
And it's a meditation around relationships.
Right. This is from Oren and Da-Ben, who I love very much.
Yeah. Talk to us more about that for those that maybe not have seen that meditation. Can you do you
Sure.
some of it?
Sure. Well, I love Oren and Da-Ben. I've followed them. They're actually a couple who channel, each of them channels. So her name is Sanaya Roman, and his name is Dwayne Packer. And Sanaya channels Oren, and Dwayne channels Da-Ben. So together they channel Oren Da-Ben, and it's Oren, ORINDABEN.com. And they're amazing. I've been reading them and following them for years. They put out 6 or 7 books. The first of which was The Power of Joy, and the second, the last of which was called Soul Love. And they also did a book in the middle there called Opening to Channel, which I've used and recommended to people over and over again. So every week on Sunday, they post a new weekly meditation. And as you said, this week's is about creating the relationship you want.
Yeah.
And like all of their, so what I do on my morning prayers, which is on 9 to 9:30 every morning, is we work with that meditation 5 times throughout the week. So we include that pretty much every day of the week and work with it every day. And basically in all their meditations, we're shifting the focus from, where we're confused or unclear or uncertain or have a hidden agenda, about what we want to get out of life or from people, versus giving to ourselves, giving to each other, being and connecting with our spirit guides, with our soul, with the light of our soul, with our higher self, these higher energies, and just clearing the confusion and clearing the attachments, which all of us get stuck in, and just being as clear and as loving and as detached and gentle and generous in the direction of what we want to give and what we want to receive. And basically, as I was saying this morning, Fleur, getting from the side of the fence where everything is not okay, back onto the side of the fence where everything is okay, and feeling what that feels like. So the meditation helps us to do that, and it's a great tool.
Yeah. When you talk about attachments, what are some examples?
Sure. Well, this is the core of Buddhism, basically, is all suffering comes through attachment. And it's where we get our negative expectations. It has to come a certain way. This person must love me. This situation must work out just this way. This diagnosis must happen exactly this way. And we all get a vote and a voice and a vision, a guide say, but then we want to step back and say, this or something better is now my experience. So however we can open our hearts and open our hands to life and say, use this situation for your divine purpose, that allows spirit to really step in and do something. When we're saying it must happen, on our schedule, in our way, control, 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 that's not so sexy, you know, that's not so cute. That's not so that's not so light and fluffy. So we want to clear what we want. We want to believe that we can have it and feel what it's like to have it, know that's our truth. And then we want to be grateful for how and when it manifests. We want to trust that life can figure out the details. God is the governor of details. Our focus is on what we want and what it feels like and what we believe. And Spirit's focus is on how, when that happens.
So just to question, and as you know, I like to ask questions and go a bit deeper. And maybe,
yes, sir. I love your question.
And maybe just to uncover some uncertainty that someone
Sure.
might have around that practice or thought process, sure, or relationship with source and energy when it comes to detachment, letting go of outcomes.
Right.
How
right.
does that work when we're saying I free myself from attachment and control of how I'd like this situation to pan out in relation to identifying something that no longer serves you and understanding toxicity and having to take action, which requires a sense of control?
Right. It's a great question. You know, control is great for parking a car and balancing a checkbook. Fantastic. Making your grocery list. Wonderful. You know, making a date with a friend. No problem. But who, where, how, and when something has to happen that we don't have the ability to control. We have influence. We create impact. We set intention. But we can't demand. Demand, attachment, fear, it's all the same energy. So trust, my God, say control and trust are two ends of the same scale, the same scale. What we trust, we don't need to control. So the journey from control, fear, attachment to surrender, gratitude, trust, the process of spiritual growth, I would honestly say. And you see this in everyone's journey about their own spiritual practice. The gift of spiritual practice, of meditation, affirmation, prayer, keeping a journal, seeking to be of love and service, seeking to follow our inspiration, these qualities, that is the energy that moves us back in the direction of the truth that sets us free. And that is, I do my inner work. I know what my needs are, what my wants are, and I trust Spirit to manifest what I need and want in the perfect time, in the perfect way. So by doing the inner work, we clean our side of the glass. You know, we forgive, we have compassion, we work with acceptance, we work with gratitude. You know, thank you for the difficult lesson this situation is teaching, that I haven't learned in an easier way about myself, about my relationship to life and to source. And once we stop judging ourselves and judging each other, which I think is the work for all of us as conscious human beings, then you can come back to feeling safe, loved, and supported. And when you feel safe, loved, and supported, then you go, I'm okay, and everything's okay. And I'm in the flow of life, and life is flowing through me. And I can trust that what I've asked for is coming to me in the perfect time, in the perfect way. Control is a heavy energy, you know, and it's holding on to something. That's the attachment that causes suffering again, versus surrender, which is, you know, you see all crisis. I can't change this. I can't control this. This is happening. How do I get through it? You surrender to a higher power to get through it. You surrender to a deeper purpose to get through it. You say, there's a gift for me in this, and I'm going to find that. And I honestly feel that wisdom is really, from my guides, wisdom is knowing our oneness with all of life and operating from that oneness. And there's a lot of illusions that we all get to go through every day where we forget that, where we deny that, where we say, oh no, I'm special, you know, and I can do it my own way, and I don't have to do it the way life does it, and that's usually the path of all suffering.
Yeah.
Speaking from personal experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's about what causes that suffering is not allowing ourselves to just go with the ebb and flow of life as it.
Right. Right.
I love the term, if it comes, let it come. But if it goes, let it go.
Yeah. Yeah. Trusting life. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Well said.
And also, it is a fine line between surrender and control.
Uh-huh.
As some things come into our reality, we can still yet decide whether we want to continue that reality or not.
Sure. Always.
Little bit of control, which requires decision. Yes, no. Do I like this? Make a choice, and then
Right.
surrender.
Right. Yes. Well, you're raising a great point, Fleur. There's a difference between choice and control. Right. So, and I know you get that. And see, this is something that Spirit's been showing me as well, that the negative ego, the wounded part of ourself, victim consciousness, guilt, shame, blame game, we call it, that always pretends that I don't have a choice. And that's where we're controlling ourselves, you see. But when we recognize I always have a choice and I can be very honest with myself, responsible to myself, kind, loving, compassionate, caring, forgiving to myself, those are all choices. And the more I am giving in the meditation this morning from Oren, what I give to myself is what I'm asking life to give to me, what I'm willing for life to give to me. And what I'm not getting in my relationships or in my relationship to life, that's what I'm withholding from myself. So as we know, life is a mirror, relationships are a mirror, where we're clear and where we're still controlled, confused, feeling, running our hidden agendas, etc. So choice is I take responsibility for my choices, my beliefs, my impact, all of that, and I learn from it. That's the good side of things. When I don't learn from those experiences, then the whispers become shouts, and what was being loud and clear at volume 2 has now gone up to volume 10. We continue the lessons until we learn what's needed to learn from any experience.
Yeah, 100%. And things do, just like you're saying, do come into our reality to give us a gift. We may
Yes.
not necessarily enjoy how that gift's being delivered, because we have our own expectations of how things should come. But
Right.
yet we'll have choice as well.
Right.
So when we're presented, we can choose to obviously take the lesson, because that's important, because otherwise it'll continue to repeat. But then
Right.
we're allowed to make a choice as to whether we want to continue being, the guinea pig on the little running wheel as well.
Yes, dear. The hamster on the wheel.
And at some point we have to go, okay, I'm getting off now.
Yes. Yes. A good decision every time. Yes.
Sounds very simple, doesn't it?
Yes. Well, yeah, it's beautiful. My guides say we're safe, loved, and supported unless we believe otherwise. And then we're free to choose to believe otherwise and experience that contrast. When contrast appears as conflict, when it looks like we're under attack or under threat or under pressure or these kinds of energies, they say take a step back if you can and come back to yourself and recenter yourself. And that's kind of the grounding practice. I did a group last night online, and two of the ladies there were dealing with a lot of anxiety and stress and pressure and medication and trying to find their sanity and this kind of thing. And the message in and all this intense energy that we're moving through, hurricanes and scandals and crisis and all sorts of drama. Spirit says keep coming back to peace. And when you find that peace, then you come back to yourself. And then as you step back into your conscious experience, work on maintaining that peace and let that peace guide you rather than the drama in our mind or in the world. As soon as we start looking for the drama, we start to go a little loopy.
Yeah. And it's interesting because not everyone understands that we are the observer of the drama. We are not the drama itself.
Yes, right.
For example, internal dialogue or the static noise, I like to call it, comes in, and we identify with it more often than not. When the more probably appropriate approach is to recognize that we are just the observer, and if the static noise or internal dialogue comes in and we do not resonate, like, or agree with the internal dialogue that's running around in there, we have a choice to say, "There's the door."
Right.
So the garden of the mind becomes a revolving door. Then,
Yes.
It comes,
yes.
Let it come, and if
right.
you go, just let it go. If
yes.
it doesn't serve you, just let it go.
Yes.
And it takes some time to get into practice of healthy internal dialogue or healthy mind chatter and static noise, where it is of self-nurture,
Sorry, say again, sweetheart.
Where it's of self-nurture, where
yes.
they're self-nurture. For example, like Lou, when we did a session together and we did the hand on the heart session, and words that came with that session were all healthy affirmations and a trigger for healthy internal dialogue. We need to be mindful. It takes practice for us to that emotion so it becomes automatic.
Yes, that's right. That's what my guides call the inner child exercise you're talking about.
Yeah.
And right, and that's when we close our eyes, put our hands to our heart, and we say, "I love myself. I accept myself. I forgive myself. I set myself free." And they say usually you do that 3 times. And absolutely, these are words that we all need to hear. We didn't have an overabundance of people telling us, you're wonderful, you're amazing, thank you for being you. So again, we all play these different roles. I love what you just said about being the witness, coming back to being the witness, Fleur. That's extremely important. We lose ourselves in the drama, and we learn to detach from the drama through our consciousness. We get wounded by going unconscious, and we awaken and heal by becoming conscious, is the way my guides put it. And so when we have time and space for peace, and we're seeding ourselves with love and joy and appreciation and gratitude and freedom and forgiveness, all good things, like you're saying, then we're filling our own cup. We're saying, I am enough and there is enough. And, that brings our vibration up. And as you and I have said many times, this is the dance between the head and the heart, the feminine and the masculine, love and will. We all have this this wild ride that we're going through, and we're living in this time when the point of creation is now coming from emotion more powerfully than ever before. And so the mind is still trying to control everything. As you said, that's the great illusion. I can control everything and everyone. Donald Trump is our prime example of how fruitless and useful that philosophy is. And no, I need to know what my truth is. I need to treat others the way I want to be treated. I need to give what I'm asking to receive. I need to, follow my inspiration, not act out of desperation. So the the feminine in all of us knows this, but the masculine is the willed part of us that expresses this or denies it.
Yeah, exactly.
Fun, fun, fun.
It is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's and it's a daily process.
Yes, dear.
Um,
Yeah.
and to
Every
be
day. Every day. Yeah. Yeah.
the daily act to be self-aware or mindful of our internal mechanisms, our internal relationship with self and source and spirit, which then,
Yes.
you know, translates into what we perceive is our reality. Um,
Yes.
yeah. For example, um, you know, let's say we're having a difficult situation with a small group of people. Could it be friends? Could it be family? Um,
Sure.
there seems to be a whole heap of chaos, whether it be, being upset over people's actions, what they're saying, what they're not saying, and, the general conflict that happens between humans.
Yes,
Um,
dear. We all know it too well. Yes.
and yeah, we do,
The
don't we?
usual,
Um,
the usual madness, I call it. Yeah.
and the thing is that when we continue to stay plugged energetically into the drama, and I use drama, that term, very respectfully, because it's created itself a bit of a negative, disrespectful feeling when we use the term drama. But all it means is chaos, realistically, and that's the only term or way that I'm using it in. But when we're consistently feeding it energetically and emotionally, we keep co-creating with it,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And at some
Yeah.
point, we have to go unplug. I
Right.
unplug from this.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Do I recognize that this is hurting me? Do I recognize that I'm upset by this situation? And yes, do I recognize that I wish it was different? But the only way to start allowing the change to occur is to unplug. And it doesn't
Yes.
mean to not care, it just means
Right.
to not feed.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a very powerful thing you're saying, my friend. Discernment and detachment from the drama is
Mm-hmm.
the phrase from my guides, which is just as you said. I do care. Um, I have invited or allowed this into my experience, so it's here for a reason.
Yeah.
There's a gift for me about this in terms of my own strength and wisdom. That's one of the things Owen teaches. The quote from my guides is a great thing to meditate on. It is, what is this teaching me about love? And like you said earlier, when we do the inner child work, we're being basically unconditionally with ourselves. We're willing to give to ourselves. We're wanting life to give to us. So when we can't get or don't get what we want or need from our relationships, then again, as we're learning, we need to look to our relationship to ourselves and take that responsibility of, what am I believing? What am I creating? What am I feeding in this situation? And yeah, forgive if needed and necessary and helpful, and then give the whole thing to spirit for its purpose. To me, this is really the secret weapon. Uh, Whether people are dealing with abusive relationships or cancer or fearing being deported or whatever the drama might be, hurricanes, yeah, you know, existential dread, whatever the drama is about safety, love, and support, the moment we start to recognize that our relationship with spirit is more powerful than the chaos and confusion we're moving through, that's when we begin to get our power back. And that's when we begin to find the clarity of moving through the situation. When people don't know that, or don't believe that, or don't trust that, then the drama just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it continues, doesn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Hello, Mrs. Premise. Hello, Mrs. Conclusion. Yes, it keeps growing and growing because, as Abraham says, this is the quote this morning. That was Monty Python. This is the quote this morning that momentum is the energy of continuing to feed what you've been feeding.
Mhm.
You know, and we have these different areas of our experience, and whatever we're feeding in those areas, that's what it has to keep bringing back to us.
Mhm.
And you said it very well. Drama is not punishment, and it's not out to get us, even though the ego and the mind believes that it is. It's just reflecting back to us. This is what you're putting out about this, or what you have put out about this. Would you like to change your mind now? You
Mhm.
see, would you like to see this differently? And again, what I learned from my guides is that our power comes through being at peace. It's like the metaphor, the analogy of the eye in the hurricane, right? There's this gigantic storm happening in the center of it. It's completely peaceful. And so, if you can find the center of your hurricane, then the storm will dissolve and you'll get back to yourself. But if you keep fighting the appearance of things and keep putting your energy into fighting the appearance of things, you don't have your power in this situation. You're stuck in the drama,
Yeah.
right? And so meditation and prayer and affirmations and keeping a journal are the tools that for me help me to ground myself in what I believe and in what I trust and in what I choose to know about any situation. And then things change. Then miracles happen. Then the money shows up, the help shows up, the support shows up, and it's like, and I couldn't see it before in the storm. It wasn't there. It didn't exist in my chaos.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And it's about knowing that what it is that you want bad enough that you will take the time to get centered for it.
Well said. Very well said. Yes. Yes. We have to care about being happy.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's interesting because we hear a lot, I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. But,
Right.
you know, um,
Yes, dear. Not a good affirmation.
it's not a good affirmation. I know,
No.
like, and the words keep are said over and over again repeatedly, and it's like, no, stop saying that, because the thing is that you're just reinforcing something that you one believe. First, we want to change the belief in order to
Right.
find the time, because the time is there. The time doesn't change. It's just how
Right.
we're on it.
Sure, exactly.
Because
Life just does its thing, and whatever we believe about it is what we invite, we allow, or and we experience.
mm-hmm.
And to me, most metaphysical processes kind of resolve themselves in 3 steps. You know, my guides talk about belief, which is the realm of the mind, understanding, which is the realm of the heart, and knowing, which is the realm of the spirit. And so, what I believe, that's going to change. There's enough, there isn't enough. I'm okay, I'm not okay. This is working, it's not working. It's just the passing, it's the weather that just shifts all the time. Okay. But what I understand about it, when I bring my mind to my heart and I surrender my mind to my heart and I come back to peace, like I love myself, I accept myself, brilliant. You're saying, you're okay. There's enough. Life is good. Relax, trust, be grateful. And then when I suppose gratitude is coming back to the knowing. I do know that all is well. I am supported, guided. Spirit does love me, and I am that love that I'm asking for to show up in my life. I'm one with all that is in this moment. And of course, none of us can live there. That's what enlightenment is, I believe. living that oneness consciously all the time. But in this time of awakening, healing, and growth, my guides say, we're able to tap back into that more deeply and more easily. And every time we do, the whole universe is pushing that energy through us to bring it out into our reality so that people can see, oh my God, there really is a new way to live in this world. And I want to learn how to do that.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yummy. Yum,
Very.
yum, yum. Yes. Grooviness.
Yeah. And the thing,
Yeah.
well, just to go back to that as well about the getting grounded and using the tools that are necessary to allow spirit or the universe or whatever we want to call it to invite the things that we want. We need to make time for the dialogue, the conversation.
Yeah. Say more about that. That's wonderful.
Yeah. And it literally is whether or not, like going back to what we've spoken about a few times, but what you mentioned earlier as well. Um, okay, so under the chaos, the drama, the stress, the internal dialogue, the worry, we're human, so we're always going to fall into our humanly patterns, and that's okay, and that's a part of the experience. But it's just about being mindful of that. So when we're worrying and constantly worrying, whatever it is that we're thinking about is just as powerful.
Right.
That
With
is
the
a form of dialogue.
Yes, that's right. That's right. I absolutely agree, Fleur. The only thing I want to add to what you're saying is that um, the relationship of fear, which is the illusion of separation,
Mm-hmm.
versus our oneness with love and light, which is the truth of who we are at the core of our being, and what we return to whenever we're willing and able to do that, um, is like 1,000 to 1. So, in other words, this is where Abraham talks about 1734, 68 seconds. That if we can maintain a position of love and joy, appreciation, gratitude, I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful for this day. I'm grateful for this opportunity to talk about these meaningful and wonderful ideas. 17 seconds doesn't take long, you know, and you build it to 34, you build it to 68. That's what we do in the morning prayers, is the idea there. I want to create a space for rampages of appreciation and affirmative prayer and all that. I'm not begging the universe for a favor, save me, fix me, help me. I'm saying, we're one, all is well. Thank you for the gift of my life. Thank you for the opportunity to know this once again. So anything that helps us to tap into that will nicely clean up, thank God, all the fears and confusions that my lovely little mind has been feeding me up until that moment. So it's a good thing to know.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing as well too. So when I was going talking about before, that worry is just the same as applying gratitude, but just on a different scale and different levels. We need to be mindful. It's okay to be stressed, but to hold on to it is repeating. It goes beyond the 17 seconds. It goes beyond the 60 seconds. And if we're doing that all day, every day,
Yeah, not so fun.
no, not so fun.
No, it's
Um,
resistant.
yeah. So yes, is worry and stress always going to be a part of our humanness and reality? Yes. Um, but to start breaking that pattern or start breaking it up is to pull back and then start applying the 17 seconds of gratitude. Hold on.
Well, yes, let me, right, right. My teacher Lazara says what you've said, it can be true, but it's not necessarily true.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the good news, that you're right. Because we have free will,
Mm-hmm.
we're always going to be bouncing back and forth between contrast.
Yeah.
But the good news is we don't have to continue to dive between despair and joy.
Mm-hmm.
We can actually jump between happiness and joy.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, like you're saying, what's happening, in our hearts, in our bodies, in our minds, in the world right now, is that the vibration is getting higher and higher and higher every day. And so the baseline, if you like, of the music of our life is moving into a higher octave. It's not going as low as it has been. And Lazarus actually said to us, life was never meant to be as painful as we've allowed it to become. And basically, this is when we talk about the fall from grace and the fall of Atlantis and Lemuria and places like this. This is a whole new level of consciousness, which we're evolving into right now. This is what they've taught me for 30 years. And this is what we're learning to perceive, how we're learning to perceive new realities. So we don't need to keep dragging the painful, terrible past with us any longer. We can literally begin to live from this higher vibration and not need to descend into chaos and confusion in order to motivate ourselves to grow.
Yeah, yeah. And it requires practice, of
Yeah.
course,
Yes.
and dedication and time to want to do that. It comes back
Yes.
to how
Yes.
much you value your
Yeah. Yeah. It comes back to how much you value.
your happiness.
Exactly.
Mm,
Exactly.
mm,
Exactly. That's all of it. Yes, bless you. That's the whole game right there. Do you choose to be happy,
mm.
or are you going to resist the will of the universe,
Yeah, yeah,
your fears and struggles and judgments and control?
mm, yeah,
That's it. Beautifully said.
yeah.
Uh, my guides say total commitments, right?
Hmm. I think I'm losing you, Lou. Oh, I've lost you. I've lost you. Are you back?
No, I think I just got back now. I
Okay.
hear you now. I hear you now.
All right.
Yeah, there we are. Yeah. Just another quote from my little spirit friends here. They say, partial commitment, partial freedom.
Hmm.
Total commitment, total freedom.
Hmm. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. So, as you said, committing to our happiness, our joy, our health, wealth, abundance, our success. These are what Spirit wants to help us to learn to do.
Hmm. Yeah, I love it, Lou. Awesome. Um, any last words of wisdom before we jump off? Because I feel like I'm losing you.
Sure. Where am I at here? Thursday. So, yes, first of all, thank you. Yes, it's a little wobbly here in the internet. Just having me, and all my love, and I look forward to chatting with you anytime you like. And my love to everyone in Australia. And I'm doing more morning groups. I've now got it straight that I'm 9 hours ahead, or Australia is 9 hours ahead.
Oh, I've lost you, Lou.
Sensitive to Australia.